Well, here's how you throw your fan base and WNBA fans at large into a collective panic. Caitlin Clark on the injury report, which is exactly what happened as the Indiana Fever put out the status update for the first preseason game against Washington. Although number 22 could be benched, Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever play Washington tomorrow at noon to kick off the preseason. Due to a left leg injury, 2024 Rookie of the Year Caitlin Clark is categorized as uncertain. Sunday is Indian, of course. So, this is how you F when Caitlin Clark simply blinked. The WNBA community as a whole went into panic mode. Yes, after learning that the damage was little more than a paper cut, Indiana Fever supporters essentially dialed 911. The crucial question now is whether she will participate in the preseason. More significantly, is Angel Reese still trembling in her Jordans? Since Caitlin will either be dropping jaws or dimes in just 2 weeks, Chicago Sky had best get ready for a full Coremate reality check. Like it's Game 7 of the finals, the entire internet has been tense, biting their fingernails and constantly scanning the Indiana Fever's Twitter page. Taylor Swift was just swapped in the middle of her tour. And why? Because Caitlin Clark, the walking ESPN ratings machine, the queen of deep threes, and America's golden shooter, gave fans a little fright. The Fever's preseason abruptly got more emotionally charged than a reunion of the Real Housewives with only one small bump and one mysterious news. Caitlin Clark is on an injury report. For the first time in her WNBA career, Caitlin Clark is listed on an injury report, lads. Oh my God, lads, she's listed on injury report, and this is not the end of the world. This is not the end of the world. Not a great thing. Not an ideal thing. You never want to see someone listed on injury report. That's never a good thing. But let's all slow down and take a moment before anyone jumps at the chance to set up a candlelight vigil outside Fieldhouse. According to the Indiana Fever, she is now under observation in 2025. That may signify anything at all. Her Wi-Fi signal may be being watched since, as you may know, no athlete can succeed without a reliable connection. Perhaps her tweets are being watched in case someone says something offensive. Are they keeping an eye on her ankles? Maybe. More significantly, though, is her divine capacity to degrade defenders on the court. Since such authority merits its own security clearance, you can expect that it's constantly monitored. Caitlin Clark, the only player on it, listed as questionable with a left leg injury. Now, I've seen a lot of injury reports in my day, and I'll say this. Of course you get a jump scare when you see Clark's name there, given what she means to the Beaver and what she means to the league. The WNBA community held their breath, though. Mostly because they have been waiting for Caitlin Clark to do her best on a professional court for around 200 years. After witnessing her swatting flies while calmly hitting logo threes during her rookie season. The notion of Caitlin Clark skipping preseason, much alone the premiere, is akin to informing fans that they won't have Wi-Fi, Netflix, or Santa Claus on the same day. Basketball blasphemy is what it is. Caitlin Clark is more than simply a budding celebrity. She's a meteor screaming across the WNBA sky, and fans have been following her path like it's guiding them to the promised land. Fans of Caitlin have been chewing their fingernails, pacing their living rooms like expecting dads in 1950s comedies, and checking social media every 5 minutes as if it were a stock ticker. Even a small update on an injury causes a stir on Twitter timelines, Reddit threads, and group chats. Basketball is no longer the only sport. It is a form of treatment. The protagonist is Caitlin Clark. I was very, very worried, that we were going to see a Caitlin Clark missing the game. Hope you're right, kind of feels like an FU to the fans attending the game. Thus, the WNBA internet was essentially ablaze when rumors of an injury began to circulate. One admirer responded in all uppercase, "What do you mean she's day-to-day?" and included 14 sobbing emojis. Her most recent game was replayed more slowly in ESPN segments than in a documentary on conspiracy theories. In full FBI gear, TikTok examined every second of the video for signs of a limp, a wheeze, or an excessively prolonged blink. Supporters were prepared to declare a national holiday of sorrow if she even touched her knee, and the responses were nothing short of operatic when the official injury report eventually arrived. Thankfully not catastrophic, but enough to cast doubt on her preseason status. Some admirers made tribute reels with dramatic Adele songs playing in the backdrop and lighted digital candles right away. Others took on the roles of full-fledged sports analysts, creating injury timetables and diagrams with the same level of commitment often associated with war plans. However, the terror and collective what-if that hung over the season may have been the most significant indication of Caitlin Clark's influence, because it would be like Broadway without the stars, Coachella without the main act, or a Beyoncé performance without Beyoncé if the WNBA season started without her stealing the show. Although it is technically feasible, it would be disastrous on a spiritual level. Caitlin Clark is more than simply a basketball player. She plays basketball. Every pass is an artistic creation. Every shot seems like a magical moment, and every play is exciting because of her. The whole WNBA fan base will be on high alert, refreshing, reposting, and maybe praying until she is formally cleared and prepared to return to the floor. It's never only about playing basketball, as everyone hopes that the season may flourish once more under her overpowering genius with Caitlin Clark. Seeing something sublime is the goal. Let's discuss who ought to be more anxious about this injury update. Not Caitlin, the supporters, or even the trainers who were frantically attempting to bubble wrap her limbs. No, there is a very specific person in Chicago who owns the actual panic button. Reese Angel. Yes, Miss Bayou Barbie herself. Now, let's be honest before her fans bombard her with staged eye rolls and Instagram posts. You guessed it, the Chicago Sky will play the Indiana Fever in their season opener. Additionally, Angel Reese runs the risk of becoming a viral collection of failed closeouts and oops defenses if Caitlin Clark's legs are operating at anything more than a moderately injured level. Keep in mind that these two are already at odds, or as much animosity as two really successful collegiate athletes can have before public relations firms begin to send out aggressively worded emails. Additionally, this game is set to be the WNBA's take on the McGregor versus Mayweather combat, with one of them really playing defense. Angel is currently having a difficulty. Instead of a charity scrimmage against middle schoolers or a warm-up, her squad starts the season with Caitlin Clark, who, if healthy, will be chasing three things: threes from the parking lot, ankles to grab, and Angel's pride. And it's obvious that you haven't watched a Vengeance game if you believe Caitlin doesn't recall every glance, every statement, and every time Angel attempted to take center stage with an eye roll or a TikTok dance. Petty play is something Caitlin treats like a professional sport. She simply waits, grinning, her jumper cocked and ready, without forgetting. So, picture Angel Ree's horror in the Chicago skyline if Caitlin does play on the first day. In 2 weeks, she will be healthy and radiant like the basketball queen she is when she takes the court. In that case, it won't be a game. The sponsorship situation is going to be disastrous. Chicago had best get ready right away. Call the Avengers, conduct exercises, and make bribe offers. Because Caitlin isn't coming to be nice if she's okay. She has a point to make. A sort of hello, I'm the WNBA now message. An Angel might wish to borrow a fortunate rabbit's foot and some sage. She is overestimating her position, though. Oh, but Angel isn't concerned, isn't he? She struts into news conferences like it's her universe, calm and composed. Bless her self-assurance. It's quite cute. However, someone ought to inform her that Caitlin Clark experiences first-game obliteration rather than first-game nervousness. And here is the WNBA if Angel believes that college is still in play. Additionally, Caitlin Clark is going to use your defensive rotations to create a masterpiece. Not to mention how the Chicago Sky has been getting ready for the next season. Oh, hold on. They haven't. As the rest of the squad learns what a screen is, their main off-season move was to hope that Angel's brand would carry them. And if Caitlin is even 75% ready, that first game will seem more like an arson probe than a basketball match, so they had best hope she is still under observation. Caitlin Clarkspover isn't just media hype. The field is statistical science. She shoots from distances that ought to require permission, scores whenever she wants, and passes as though she is cheat codes. Caitlin has been consuming 30-foot daggers like it's aerobics, while Angel has been occupied with her Instagram angles. Furthermore, it's possible that Angel Reese's humiliation on national television is the only way we will ever witness her strengthen her defense. Perhaps Caitlin's crossing will reveal a secret humility. Or perhaps the scene where Caitlin winks at the camera in the middle of Angel flailing will merely serve as another viral clip. Fans of Rhee would undoubtedly disagree, but she is a champion. Yes, at college, in a system built around her to protect her from defenses that forced her to remain 2 feet away in order to fulfill her character arc. However, neither TikTok views nor participation prizes are given out by the WNBA. The League of Legends is this.